we need to change the way we see color and the way we think about the idea of color as a social construct. So I use a different spelling of the traditional word color, usually spelled C-O-L-O-R. Instead, I spell it C-O-L-O-U-R as a representation of the way people of color see the world in which we live. I also like the O-U-R, the hour, in the spelling of color to represent us, a collective body of people. If we, people of color, see the world through brown, hazel, or perhaps even gray physical eyes, which is physical sight or the ability to see the physical world. If the way we see the world is starkly different from the way they see it, let's use a word like color to represent our lens, our tint, our shade, as it were. Don't get it twisted. The word color is not to be confused with the outdated and antiquated term colored, which some view as offensive. Even though it is still today used as part of the name of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP. Like I said, the word colored is outdated. It is antiquated, but it does not have to be seen as offensive. The terms people of color, persons of color, POC, etc., are actually terms used almost exclusively in America. It's actually used as a description, a representation of basically anybody that is not white. Then there's this thing called vision. I read this quote by Stephen Samuel Wise. He was this Jewish rabbi who was actually the co-founder of the NAACP, believe it or not. He said that vision looks outward and becomes aspiration. That statement resonated with me so much that I have kind of made it the mantra for the show. Even the Bible says that you will see clearly but never comprehend, suggesting that it takes more than just physical sight to really see and understand. So our vision, the way we envision the world, needs to much better reflect our views, our wants, our needs, our perceptions about the world around us as people of color. The way we perceive our environment using conscious thought, along with our feelings, emotions, needs to much better reflect our views, I repeat, our vision, which I spell with a Z, to emphasize that it belongs to us. It is our point of view, our perspective, our way of seeing things. Sometimes it's not about the way we see things, but the way we should see things from a color point of view. Why do I prefer to refer to white people as those who self-identify as white instead of, say, Caucasian or Anglo or of European descent. It's mostly about the fact that color is not only a social construct, but the term white in particular within that social construct denotes a certain amount of power attributed to the so-called color white. So this is a way of, at least in my mind, removing, lessening, mitigating some of that power, whether that power is real or perceived. Also, when you think about it, the term white is ambiguous. Does it refer to Anglo-Saxon, European? Does it refer to a person who is simply not black and not Latino or Hispanic in the U.S.? Is it someone whose ancestors arrived here on Ellis Island from some other part of the world? So that said, I simply say that some people self-identify as white by default because their ancestry is steep in Europe. So me personally, I'm not going to say a person is white because I don't have a clue about their true ancestry. It's the person themselves. It's them. It's they who are calling themselves white. Maybe this is step one in knocking so-called white privilege down a notch or two. I'm a huge sci-fi movie fan, and I'm reminded of a scene from the movie The Matrix Revolutions. There's a scene where Neo insists that love is a human emotion, implying that a computer program cannot feel love. But Ramachandra, in response, says that love is a word, and that what matters most is simply the connection that the word love implies. Ramachandra, who is the computer program, says that he can see that Neo is in love. He asks Neo, what would he give to hold on to that connection? Neo says, anything. So the term white, at least in this country, is much, much more than just a word, more than just a way to help distinguish or differentiate people visually. It's more than just something used purely for the sake of positive visual identification. Like in the movie The Matrix, it's about the connection that the word implies. It implies that you are one of them, part of them. You belong to them. And push come to shove, you are with them. Who is them? The powers that be. Even if you denounce those powers, I mean, you can run away from home, change your name, but you will always be family, as it were. Well, hey, I'm out of time for this episode. But if you have a story to share or would like to suggest a topic that you would like for us to talk about, then please reach out to us on social media or visit our site at ourviz.com. Until next time, always remember that vision looks outward and becomes aspiration. Peace.